Right now, they're saying 800 plus Israelis have been murdered. 260 just at that music festival.
Yeah.
They just went in there and started slaughtering people. Really horrible. Really horrible. So, obviously, this was an orchestrated effort to enter Israel on one of their holy days, again, by the way. And Israel has officially declared war on, I guess, Hamas for the first time in 50 years. Now, they've had other wars, I mean, since then, obviously. 81, for instance, in Lebanon. But I don't think they officially declared war. So they do mean business. Benjamin Netanyahu said over the weekend that he was going to level the Gaza Strip. Now, they haven't done that. They've responded. They've retaliated. And I know this is just the beginning of it, but they seem to be picking and choosing their targets. They haven't gone in and carpet bombed Gaza City, certainly. And I don't know how long you put up with this. There are people protesting on behalf of the Palestinians today after this sneak attack. It boggles my mind. I don't understand how this happens every time. How do you support the Palestinians in this?
Yeah, I was just watching a video out of Australia where,
wow,
ironically, I think they lit up the opera house in Israel's colors. And anyhow, there's a protest happening near there, and there was a guy who showed up with an Israeli flag who was arrested on the scene for disrupting their event.
Jeez.
With his flag. It's
really,
the world is insane.
It is.
It's absolutely insane.
Doesn't make any sense.
And by the way, as Israel is targeting these sites in the Gaza Strip, in the West Bank, and apparently in Egypt even, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. They just took out a Hamas leader in Egypt. But if you don't want your mosques blown up, then don't put weapons caches underneath them.
Well, and one of the former leaders of the IDF in Israel said, you know what? When you fire rockets from a school, it's not a school anymore. It's a military base.
Yep.
When you fire rockets from a clinic, it's not a clinic anymore. It's a military base. And so Israel responds accordingly. And then you're going to condemn that? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. It just really doesn't make any sense. The 800 people, that's a higher percentage than the amount of people we lost on 9/11.
Yeah. I've seen estimates now that this is going to be like 20 9/11s in proportion for Israel.
Jeez, my gosh. The entire war, I think it was the Yom Kippur War. They lost 647 soldiers, I think.
Soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And already they've lost more people than that. Not all of them soldiers, of course. Most of them civilians. So the vicious attack is going to be responded to. They said this is going to take some time. They say that they are already in control of the Gaza Strip on the border, where it borders Israel. So,
yeah, and I saw a thing this morning that said they've reclaimed all the territory, like all the neighborhoods inside Israel that were occupied.
And you know what? They haven't been in Gaza Strip since 2006. They pulled out of there and left them to their own devices. And now this. And okay, well, you didn't like running your own country or your own strip? All right, we'll take it back over for you. What are you going to do? You're going to have to leave a presence there now.
Yeah, we have what is it? IDF has 300,000 soldiers deployed right now.
They deployed 300,000. Yes.
Ooh, wow! Really, 300,000?
300,000.
Ooh-wee. Well, there's 2 million people in Gaza City, in the Gaza Strip. It's one of the most populous, densely populated areas on Earth. 2 million people in, I think, 140 some square miles. So it's a lot, and there's a lot of people there.
And that's a place, Gaza, right? That Joe Biden was sending aid without any strings attached, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, never mind the $6 billion to Iran.
Which I was just going to bring up. Thank you for releasing that because that allowed them to help the Palestinian and the Hamas effort against Israel. And now they, of course, are already claiming, oh, that has nothing to do with it. That was humanitarian aid. Oh, okay. So that didn't free up any of their funds to go to this?
Oh, God.
Okay.
They've already said they were behind this.
Yep.
And
and Hamas has admitted that Iran was helping them.
And a couple years ago, $50 million was given directly to Hamas from Justin Trudeau. It's just, it's endless. It's endless. Yeah. And that's not even
There's a lot of fault to go around
here.
Right.
And let's speculate for a moment of all the weapons that we've been sending to Ukraine, because it's not speculation to say that many of those weapons have been large parts of civil wars in Africa, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, who's to say that that's not part of this? Or what was left behind in Afghanistan? I mean, you don't think that that somehow got here? Again, that's speculation, but I think it's fair to assume that stuff didn't just sit on that base there in Afghanistan.
And, of course, we've already sent ships and jets in support of Israel. Now, I support Israel a lot more than I support Ukraine. And I don't think we need to get into this mess either. Can we just take a second here and remember that the Israelis are completely capable of taking care of this themselves? They are more than adequate militarily. So, and that's in large part, again, thanks to us and the $3 billion a year we give them. But, you know, they've had to be a power, and they are. So let's let them deal with it. I mean, if, you know, you start getting all the Arab nations attacking them again, I don't know, maybe you revisit that.
I mean, you got people like Dan Crenshaw already saying this is going to be the war to end all wars. I don't know if you've ever...
Is he really?
Have you ever heard that one again? Have you ever heard that anywhere in the past?
War to end all wars.
I don't think there is such a war.
Huh. No, we thought it would happen multiple times in the 20th century, and nope, it didn't. It didn't end any other wars. They just keep coming.
I mean, and you talk about the IDF and their large military. What is up with intelligence gathering? How do you not...
Yeah, the Mossad is supposed to be the best in the world in that region, you know, especially in their area. They're the best at what they do. So how did you miss this? They've been planning this for a long time.
Yeah.
And they've been training for at least a month.
Yeah. I mean, we've got video from just, this was posted on September 13th. And it was reported as what they were trying to do is they're trying to blow up the fence. Right, and it was reported
like a border fence.
Yeah, right.
Huh.
Weird. That they were training with different explosives, and 6 Hamas terrorists were killed in this training. Let's see this video here.
Oh wow!
I mean, they knew that they were training on this kind of stuff.
And this was posted online.
This was online,
September 13th. Look at the dates right on it. Oh my gosh!
And
how do you miss that?
And they knew what they were experimenting with.
Oh my gosh!
So that was out there.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And what, you just ignored it, or you didn't think they were serious, or I mean, what happened there? What happened? Oof.
Yeah.
Man, that's a blunder.
It sure is. Yeah,
and that's unusual for them because they usually take these things very seriously, you know, and try to protect themselves accordingly.